Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Soulution Live Show. This is the show where we help you move from struggle to success in your life in various ways, whether it's personal or professional. And we are here to help you live the rest of your life as the best of your life. I'm your host, Jody, Almond, and I'm excited to be with you today. As the title caption says, we're here to talk about how you can move from the struggle of fear to the life of success in faith. You see, what I know, my friend, is that fear is very real, right? Fear is very real, and we all deal with fears on different levels. And what we have to discover is fear will creep in, and if we're not careful, it will destroy our lives. Fear will come in, and it will try to just absolutely cause destruction to everything that we are trying to do to move forward in faith. I've learned in my life that fear and faith can't reside in the same house. They're polar opposites. When we have faith, it's the faith, and the Bible says faith is the substance of things hoped for, but yet not received. And so what it means is I believe in something I haven't stepped into yet. But so often we find fear getting in the way of that. You see, I relate to this because I remember back when I was contemplating for 8 years writing the book that I've written now. Not that exact book, but writing a book. And I'd had so many people tell me, Jody, you should write a book. You do such a good job of telling a story, and you do it so eloquently, and you speak well. You should write a book. And I had preachers tell me that. I had experts in business tell me that. I had all kinds of people telling me that, but internally, I had a little boy speaking to me that's voice was the loudest, who suffered with dyslexia and still struggled at times with writing. If you would have told me go stand on a stage and speak to 1 million people about a topic, I could have done that much easier than writing the book. And so I let fear, my friend, hold me back for 8 years. It was a part of the belief system that I couldn't do it because I was afraid of failure. What is it you're afraid of? What is your greatest fear? Because mine for years was the fear of failure. But you know what I've come to realize is that I allowed that fear and that belief system to rob the world of what I had to share and rob me of blessing the world. And so I know that many of you right now have fears. Fear of things that you're moving into, that you feel led to move into. I think about the story in the Bible of David and Goliath. And with David and Goliath, you find that all the soldiers of Israel were hiding in fear. Even the king was fearful of this one giant named Goliath. You see, oftentimes it's not the many giants in our life that we're facing that we're afraid of. It's the one. It's the one giant. The rest of the things we face are basic. They're not monumental. They're just basic people, circumstances, situations like you and I. But there's that one giant that always screams in our face. There's the one intimidating giant that causes us to shake in our boots and feel like we can't get past that thing that causes us great fear. Now, my friend, today as we talk about this, I want to empower you because what I know is that David goes out and he doesn't go out in his own strength. He goes out in the strength and the might of the Lord. As a matter of fact, when David is slinging that rock toward the giant, he says, I come to you in the name of the Lord. You see, what David realized was God had pronounced him through his purpose to be the king of Israel. He's already been anointed, even though he's not taken the position yet. And by faith, David goes out acting like a king, living like a king, believing like a king, fighting like a king. And today I want to encourage you, go out and fight in faith. Paul said, I've fought the good fight of faith. Faith is a fight because fear always is the adversary to our faith. And so we have to fight through our fears in faith, realizing that God has a future in store for us. Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans I have for you to prosper you, to give you a hope and a future. So whether it's you're looking at moving in faith into a new career, starting an entrepreneurship or a business, whether it is that you're thinking of writing a book, of starting a podcast, of doing a live on Facebook, you would be amazed at how many people I talk to that are so fearful and so intimidated by doing the live with the technology, with everything, and fear stops them in their tracks. But you know what I do? I say, push through the fear. I tell my clients, push through the fear. Get on and do a live. Take your cell phone, hit live, and talk to people just like they're sitting across from you. Just talk to them. And today I want you to understand, don't let fear rob you of the future that God has for you. You may be the one that helps slay the giants in people's lives that are causing them to shake in their boots, but you could be the one that slays that giant. You could be the David to your generation. You could be the one who walks out in faith instead of fear and writes the book and becomes an Amazon bestseller like me, maybe a New York Times bestseller. You could be the one who changes your world because you say, I refuse to let fear control my life. I will move in faith. Because once again, my friend, it's literally impossible for fear and faith to live in the same household. It can't happen. It can't happen. This is why Jesus told the disciples on the boat when they woke him up and the storm was heavy, he said, why are you so fearful? Why are you so afraid? How long do I have to walk with you? How long do I have to show you that I'm with you, that I've got miracles in store for you? How long do I have to continue to show you these things before you realize that you can't let fear direct your life? You have to let faith direct your life. And can I tell you what I learned from that story in the Bible? As Jesus stands on the bow of the ship and says 3 simple words, he says, peace, be still. That if you'll surrender in faith your fear to God, he will say over your life, peace, be still. And your fears will diminish and your faith will increase. And this is what I know, as long as Jesus is in your boat, you can't sink. So there's no reason to be afraid of the giant. There's no reason to be afraid of the storm. There's no reason to be afraid of what may come. The Bible says, don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about it. God's got tomorrow. Just focus on today. Why? Because today is what you have. And today is what you can work in. And you can choose this day who you will serve. Will you let fear be your master, or will you let faith in the Lord be your master? And I encourage you, move forward in faith and say no to fear. I want to help you move from the struggle of fear to the successful life of faith in the Lord. And the way to do that is to say yes to faith and no to fear. And that's easier said than done. I get it. I get it. But I want you to know it's possible. When I wrote the book, I couldn't believe what God has done with the book. The more I speak to people, I can't believe what God does with it. I was also afraid to be a pastor. I was afraid to preach. But every time I've pushed through fear in faith, I found success on the other side. And I know it'll happen for you, because it not only happens for me, it happens for the clients I work with all the time. And it'll happen for you too. Because on this show, the Soulution Live show, this is the show. This is the show that I know will help you move from struggle to success so you can live the rest of your life as the best of your life. And one way to do that is to remove fear and live by faith. Know this, my friend. I want you to be blessed, and I'm always praying for your success. We'll talk again soon. God bless.